Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, Mr. Kern. Welcome to MotoGP 15 and my final look at the special events in the base game. As if you have the 4-stroke DLC, you can also do 4-stroke events. Unfortunately, I don't have it. Maybe if I do have it, I will show you them. But for the time being, this is the last special event I will show you. As last time out, I showed you the World Events 2014 as we were mark markers against Valentino Rossi under the lights in Qatar, and we just about beat him. In the end, I've also shown you beat the time and new game mode had for this year, but quite basic. But now I'm showing you the 2-stroke events featuring the bikes from 1992 till 2001, the 2-stroke 500cc bikes in this game, as we got events around all 18 circuits in the game. 14 of them are fictional, 4 of them are real, around Le Mans, Mugello, Catalunya and Brunel. And I've always thought the MotoGP calendar in recent years is quite stable, there's an odd change here or there. But looking back at this, it reminds me of how much the calendar has changed in the last 15 years, in the time I've been watching the sport, so quite a reminder there. As one of the events added was Qatar back in 2004, became a night race in 2008, and now we are taking advantage of issues for Valentino Rossi and Max Biaggi. Has the old Aussie fan favourite Garry McCoy. But we've also got to pass Checa and Capirossi with 4 laps to go. We are starting 5th. There's a bit more of a challenge than the Marc Marquez one I showed off last time. We only had to pass Valentino Rossi in that. Now we've got to pass Rossi and 3 other riders as well. This is going to be quite a challenge, as there's a young looking Garry McCoy. They'll grow up with him having a beard, so he always looked much older than he was. And look at this, we've got similar conditions to that World Events 2014 event, as there is lots of tyre wear, as we are under the clear skies and the floodlights round the South Circuit in Qatar, and we can only win. That is our only victory condition. Anything else is a failure. So this is going to be quite a challenge, this event, I can feel. As there is Garry McCoy and his Red Bull Yamaha WCM from 2001. What a fabulous looking bike that is. And this event, it did take me a few goes to do. As I said, this was a challenge. As you can see, this is my first go, probably my best go actually. But just pushing too hard to find out to pass Capirossi. Then my next 2 goes can be summed up as: when a front wheel touches the back wheel, you will always be falling down. Co-written by Keith Young. As you can see, I fell down both times. And then again, my 4th attempt, pushing too hard on the final out, catching up the Capirossi out the penultimate corner, too much ready. But now this is my 5th attempt at this event, as there is Rossi having issues going wide out of the penultimate corner as we come to the final corner of the 25th lap. As then we got 3 laps to go, a bit less time than I expected, but we're virtually pushing Rossi through that final corner. As remember, him and Biaggi have got issues, so we've got to get past them very quickly before we catch up to Capirossi and Checa. As you can see on the left hand side, there are 1 and 2 as we go on to the 26th lap in the slipstream of the Honda. We've got to pass him with our Yamaha. That's weird to say, isn't it, about Rossi, as he is the kind of the top Yamaha rider at the moment. As we get past Rossi in that first corner, now we're getting past Biaggi in the second corner, so we're up to that 3rd spot. Now we can start chasing Checa and Capirossi in front of us as we get a bit squiddy through that 3rd corner. Great fun corner that is in these kind of faster bikes, as we are 4 seconds behind Checa at the end of the first sector of this 26th lap. So, and Capirossi is about a couple of seconds over him, so we've got about 6 seconds to gain on the leader, and just under 3 laps, about 2 seconds per lap. That should be easy, right, on these bikes. Well, not quite, especially with the tyre wear. As these bikes are probably actually my favourite in MotoGP 15. I just haven't ridden them a lot. I've been mostly riding Moto2 bikes, as these bikes have got the right balance of difficulty but also fun, to ride. As the MotoGP bikes can be very harsh at first, very strict on the power. If you just put on the power too much the wrong way, you'll head into Norfolk when you want to go to Surrey. It's very, difficult to get on top of that, especially if you're riding with no traction control. At first, you put it on low or medium or full, and then, you work your way down. So, the MotoGP bike's going to be very harsh, but quite fun to ride though, once you get on top of it. While the Moto2 and Moto3 bikes are a bit, easier to ride than this bike. The Moto2, you can get on the power too much and the bike will react, but even then it's still quite easy to get on top of that. With this bike, as you can see, you're sliding a bit, with old sideways McCoy as well. It seems a bit appropriate, as that was his, nickname back in the day. And so it's a great fun bike to ride because it got that perfect balance between, difficulty where, yeah, you get on the power too much, but you can slide it. So, yeah, they're great fun bikes to ride, and if you have this game, I encourage you to, ride these bikes quite a lot, as we gained 2.5 seconds on Checa on that lap. So, hey, we're gaining more than we expected, and there's Capirossi right in front of him. Get past Checa on this lap, get past Capirossi on the next. And I really did miss out on seeing Garry McCoy in MotoGP. I remember seeing him on a poor Kawasaki effort back in 2003. Then I saw him on a poor effort, and that was Foggy's effort back in the World Superbike. So I never really saw McCoy, at his best. And I really felt out I missed on someone who was very good back in the day. As I said, his nickname was the Sideways King because of his oversteery riding style. He's great fun to watch, I remember that. And he was a great fan favourite as well, great personality. As with most Aussie riders, I find, with, say, Troy Course in the World Superbikes, and the Kiwi as well, Aaron Slight, he was a great fun rider to watch back in the day as well. So, yeah, I watched him in World Superbikes, watched him in MotoGP when he wasn't at his best, so I really feel like I missed out on McCoy at his best as he dives down the inside of Checa. Oh, too much there, though. And I really missed out on this era as well, this 500cc era, as I started watching MotoGP back in 2003, just after it became MotoGP, from the 500cc era to MotoGP back in 2002. And I always remember my first race watching MotoGP, unfortunately, because it was, around Japan, in Suzuka, early hours of the morning. And unfortunately, the local hero Kato unfortunately died after a horrendous accident in that race. And it was a good era. Ducati came in, Kawasaki came in. It was really competitive. Lots of manufacturers, lots of World Superbike stars that I used to watch, as the BBC had the rights to World Superbikes and British Superbikes when I was growing up. So I saw stars like Hodgson, like Ruben Zaus, who was one of my favourite riders, all arms and elbows over the bike. But he's great fun to watch, the Spaniard. He was actually okay in MotoGP, if I remember correctly. He was to get past Checa, heading on to the final lap. Got to gain that couple of seconds on Capirossi. So, yeah, I saw some World Superbike stars come over, Colin Edwards and Troy Bayliss, of course. And Ducati, I really loved them when they came in because they were just a wild card. They came in really well and then fell off a bit. Then Stoner came and now they've fallen off a bit again, but they're getting better again now. And I always root for Kawasaki because they were the underdogs. I saw the likes of, say, Olivier Jack, Randy DePerny in the later years, Anthony Ware, Shinji Nakano is one of my favourite Japanese riders as well. So, yeah, it was a great, era of that sport. I remember, like, Tamada winning races when he was, even like wildcard status. And that was back when wildcards could really win races, So, it was a great era, but I feel like I missed out on this 500cc era when you had like Nick Doohan, Eddie Lawson, you had Wayne Rainey, you had Kevin Swans, and you had Alex Creville. I can never say his name right, I apologise for that. But yeah, I feel like I missed out on this era when Rossi was coming as well, Max Biaggi, there was Capirossi in front of us, Sete Gibernau as well coming up, and with Norihaga, who I knew as a superbike rider, but he was actually in 500cc before then. Regis Laconi as well was also in 500cc before, I knew him as a superbike rider with Ducati back in the World Superbike days. As we get past Capirossi there, defending bit into that fast right-hander. So yeah, I just kind of missed out on this era, unfortunately. You can watch races on YouTube because MotoGP does do that, put up the old races occasionally and some other places as well, but you can't live in that era, unfortunately. That's always going to be the past now. And so yeah, I kind of missed out living in that era, and I wish I watched MotoGP earlier, as it seemed like a fantastic era to watch the 500cc's. And watching old races, of course, you have this Casip out at the front, but the biggest change from that racing to the modern day racing, as we do the event with Garry McCoy, is that it's so much more competitive nowadays. The midfield was kind of way behind the front, but now they're much closer, and the midfield is so competitive with each other nowadays. It was competitive back then, but as I said, they were like almost like a lap down on the front, and the front's always been that competitive, but now the midfield is as well, and it's fantastic to see, and it's fantastic to see we've done this event. I hope you enjoyed seeing these special events. If you want to see more of the two-stroke events, World Events 2014 or Beat the Time, let me know in the comment section below, and of course I will hope to show you the four-stroke events when I get that DLC. But I'll be back with career mode, finally, MotoGP 15. So now for watching, and I will see you next time.